right, we are back.
Am I bored? Was that? Okay.
All right, welcome back. This is none other than your boy Husky Hefe, the Fat Fitness model Jose Cortez, and I'm here with the beautiful.
I'm your girl Michi G, of course, or maybe you don't know, but I am the author. Can't get my words out. I'm the author of the book I Lost My Mom, Memoir of a Motherless Daughter, to which this podcast stemmed from. And welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
If this is your first time being here and listening to this podcast, this is a podcast where we work through things like grief, mental health issues, and just unpacking and learning different things about ourselves to be better people, better humans in this world. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're trying to just basically make the world a better place. That's all.
Yeah, forgive me. I have to fix my hair. But yeah, this podcast, like she stated, it stemmed from her book I Lost My Mom, Now What? Memoir of a Motherless Daughter.
Available on Amazon.
So make sure you go and check that book out.
Mm-hmm.
But this podcast stemmed from that, and the biggest thing about this podcast to remember is that we're not perfect. We're all working through it, and the best thing you can do is have a conversation about it. Don't just sit in it and let it harbor and fester in something negative. So we're trying to debunk the whole stereotype of being too tough and being too closed off to talk about some of these issues. And some of the issues run deep. Some past what we've known, past the surface levels, pretty much. So, yeah, we ain't gonna keep holding you, but we just gotta let you know what it is.
That's why we exist. So, if this is your first time also listening to our podcast, we always check in, get a mental health status for the day and for the week. So I'll start, since I know I always ask you first, but I can say today I had an off day at work. We just celebrated 6 years of marriage. Woo woo. Over the weekend, so I have an off day. So my day, though it was busy, it's been pretty good. I cannot complain. The week has been amazing, even though work tries to, stress you out. Work is work. But overall, I would rate my week maybe an 8, my day about a 9. Yeah. So what about you, Husky Hefe?
Hopefully, guys, this microphone isn't messing up on y'all. I'm trying to adjust it. Yeah, the day has been. It's been all right for me. I don't even want to get into it. No,
keep it real. Keep it real.
Keep it funky.
You gotta keep it real.
I'm jealous because she was able to get her day. I wasn't able to get my day, but of course she's an amazing wife, so she makes sure I'm greatly taken care of as far as things like food and and beverages, and yeah. So nevertheless, I'm so grateful. Work is work, Unfortunately, we haven't come to that point of financial freedom to where we can say see you later to our jobs right now, but. Nevertheless, we are working towards that, so that's a positive. So if I was to rate it, 1 to 10, scale being 10, how my day has been, it was low key a 5 when I was in. I would say a 4. Well, I had a headache.
It happens.
It happens, but that's all the more reason for this episode that we're about to get into. But
good topic.
We at the beginning of the week, so we still got a ways to go, so I can't really speak on the week as a whole.
Well, last week.
Yeah, so last week was.
That's what I did, I guess.
Last week was amazing. Last week was amazing. I'm beautiful, so that's a good thing to know. Like,
okay,
I'm gorgeous. I did do stand-up poetry. I did go to
stand-up poetry.
My bad.
Yes, come on, stand up. That's a new one. Okay.
But not stand-up poetry, but
stand-up poetry.
I did go to an open mic and participate in an open mic, and I killed it, guys.
Woo woo!
I killed it, and the poem that I used was actually like the first poem that I wrote back. getting back into poetry, and they loved it. It was interactive, and it was marvelous.
It was beautiful. The beginning of something beautiful.
Yeah.
And that is why if you have not listened to our podcast and you don't know what we're about, at the end of every episode, we do have a poetry segment, Poetry in the Park. So, I mean, watch to the end and get you some good poetry in your life. So yeah.
Yeah.
So next we did mental health check-in. So a part of that is to do mindful breathing. We want you to be relaxed and calm when you listen to us because, again, we're working together to heal ourselves. So if you all will go ahead and breathe in really slow. Breathe out slow. Breathe in slow again. Breathe out slow again. What you got going on over there?
I don't be wanting to breathe into the mic.
I do. I mean, you know. I mean, you might. My breath ain't hot. Anyway, make sure you get your stretches in. Raise up.
I'm holding my mic, so I gotta do one arm at a time.
Stretch. We having technical difficulties, but that's all right. Show must go on. Make sure you're loosened up, your shoulders, and...
Yeah.
And we're not going to keep you too long with that. So let's go ahead and get into our topic for this week. Husky Hefe, you recently said that you had a rough, day at work and how stressful that was.
Right.
Would you say that's peace for you?
Hold on. I have to adjust this microphone.
Okay. Adjusting.
Okay. Okay, so let me hold on. Let me put it forward. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I know y'all probably like, dude, come on. Ask me that question again, because I wasn't.
So you said you had a stressful day at work today. Would you say that it felt like peace to you?
What, the stress at work?
Your day, like?
No. It was by far not close to a piece of a piece. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the ounce of peace. No.
Okay. Would you say that you were able to function well today with the chaos of your job?
You know, I heard this little thing from, I can't even think of his name now, but he's like, if you can function in chaos, you will be great. I can't lie to you, my brother. Today wasn't that day.
You wasn't functioning at all.
I was functioning. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a good function, but I was.
You worked it out.
Hello.
So I asked that because today's topic is about peace and protecting your peace at all costs. I feel like we're used to like having stressful work days, stressful days where maybe family issues, just life is stressful in itself. But do we know true peace? Do we know what that is? I think that the answer is no, because if we did know, we would protect it at all costs. So that is why that is the topic for today. I just want to say that I looked up what protecting your peace means by Google's definition. Of course, y'all know we love Google. It means caring for and safeguarding your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self in ways that you define for yourself. So with that being said, what does peace look like to you?
Caring for or safeguarding your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, for me, I would say that it looks like,
not today, obviously.
Not today, obviously, but it looks like with me just being in my own space, or granted it's too hot. I'm not a summertime type of guy, so I'm gonna let you all know that I love hiking and being in nature for my peace. Like seriously, I put her on to it. Like seriously. But it's not that right now. Mm-hmm. it's not my bad. It's not that type of weather for me, for my liking. So I'm not really getting as much as that. Right now it is raining outside, which is pretty beautiful and peaceful.
That's peaceful.
So being in nature for me is peaceful. Being able to sit and read or watch. I'm a sucker for like a good documentary or like an old school film, you know, something like that. But that's pretty much my kind of take on.
So is it like quality time to yourself is peace to you?
Self is very much peaceful. I gotta have myself.
Okay.
What about you?
So I'm gonna be honest and say that I am just now learning what real peace is at 31 years old. Because I didn't grow up in peace. We grew up in chaos. I think peace to me, I've learned over the last couple years since COVID specifically, is quietness and stillness, being able to just be in my own space and just sit and be quiet. Peace to me is not having to be depended upon all the time. If you have my book or you've listened to other episodes, I felt like my mom was the person that was the go-to for everything. And so once she passed, I inherited that. People come to me for things. And so, I don't know, I find peace in I won't say not being needed, but I find peace in not being the first go-to. Like, try to figure it out at least before you get to me. I think that's peace to me. Just boundaries.
Okay, so do you think it'll be I hate to say that word. Do you think it'll be rude if somebody calls and like, hey, Michi, can you do? And you just like, who did you call before me? Did you try and figure this out?
I low-key want, and that's a boundary with me too. Honestly, I be low-key wanting to do it, but I don't want to come off as rude.
I feel like it's not rude.
It's probably the way that you say it, but I feel like I don't know I'm still learning how to properly process things mentally and say things, because sometimes things are done or said to us and we just react or respond. But I feel like if that happens, I may not respond the best way, and I don't have intentions of being mean or rude on purpose. It's that protective mechanism. I don't know, but I'm working on it. It's a boundary thing. Which is something I'm actively working on, is boundaries.
So let's say I think let me be honest. Over the years, my definition of what is peace to me has evolved, right? So let's look back at childhood. We
love talking about childhood.
You know, like, because you got
that's where it starts.
To visit it. Like, when was you like most peaceful? When was it like the most serene thing? You just like, not a care in the world. Of course, we all wish we can go back to childhood. The
90s.
A care in the world. You know.
Don't get me started.
Shout out to the 90s, man. 90s babies, stand up. I mess with the 80s babies. 70s, y'all think y'all tough. No, I'm just flashing. But when was it like a time that you just felt peaceful?
When I was a child in my room playing with my toys and just in my own little world. Nobody was bothering me. Right. I didn't have responsibilities. I could watch TV and do what I want. That was the most peaceful my life has ever been, and happiest, honestly. Some other factors come into play with that, but
I think so. Okay, I can take you back to a specific time, and it was more so probably in that fall type realm, from spring going to fall. I had to be in school, right? And you know how school goes on, but you get those weekends, and sometimes you go into a lull to where you're not playing sports. So I was like, I was in a transition where I wasn't playing sports, so I was like, it'll be, Mom, we probably already had the groceries in the house. Come on, I'm a big dog. We already had groceries. But Mom probably cooked breakfast that morning. Oh, yes. And she made us get up and clean up. But after you clean up, and we probably went out just for a second to get hold on. Okay, let me start over. So, sorry. The most peaceful days would be, I had the front room, right? So I was closest to the kitchen.
Of course.
So I would hear my mom get up, move around, be fidgeting. So with that being said, I would always have my ear to the streets, like what's going on.
Literally.
What's going on in my hood. So I get up. I be like, Mom, what you doing? She like, you gonna come with me to go to the grocery store? We go to the grocery store, get the food, come back, put the food up in the fridge, deep freezer, so we straight. She like, I'm finna cook breakfast. She cooked breakfast. Lil, my stepdad and them, they probably finally waking up. And, you know what I'm saying, everybody after breakfast, everybody go back to their separate rooms after everything have been cleaned up. But everybody go to their separate room and you just have this peace. And it's always around like...
Ooh, that was
always
peaceful.
Yeah, it's always like...
After breakfast.
After breakfast peaceful, it was crazy.
Man.
So, I'm talking about when you get that cooked breakfast.
How did we have the same childhood? Because the same thing happened to me. Like, when you said that, I thought about breakfasts where Mom would come home and we had the little frozen hash brown things, bacon, eggs, the little biscuits, and then we all sit together as a family and eat. And then we all go to the room, downstairs, wherever, and we'd be like, up, nap time. Or TV time or something, but it was like, peaceful.
Because you was up and moving and grooving early, it was like once it gets around that 1, 2 o'clock, anywhere from 1 to 4, it's nothing to do. Most of the Saturday cartoons, like we didn't have cable all the time, so when like Fox and stuff would stop playing the Saturday cartoons, well now you finna get like this, not old school film, but like a more grown up film, and I sit in the...
I don't think I touched it, but just make sure it's supposed to be orange.
But I sit in the...
My bad, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties now.
I sit in the room and I watch like these old films. I think that's when I first saw... I think it was something like that day. And I told your mom about the video. What is it?
Fried green tomatoes?
Nah, I had to find the movie, but
okay.
I'll think about it. But yeah, that was peace for me. That was my take on peace. It's like, and we was always in our separate rooms because me and my little sister at the time, we did not get along. We did not get along. I love her to death, but we would bicker, fight. I was a big brother. I was
gonna say that's siblings for you.
Yeah, but
so question. We established that we didn't grow up in peace. Do you think that because we didn't grow up in peace, both you and your childhood all the way in Memphis, me and my childhood here in Nashville, is it possible that people just don't know peace or know what that is? Do you think we sit and think like, we've had a rough day at work, let me find peace? Like, do you know people know what true peace is?
No. Like, that's the biggest thing, to unwind the right way. I don't think we or my people have known or knew what that looked like. You know, because they people didn't know what it looked like. They thought, I would say, a lot of times we think to unwind is let's go get a drink, or let's go like either get intoxicated, inebriated.
Can I tell you one of mine?
Yeah.
Being on cell phone, like being on social media, like, I'm not on, be like, I just got home from work. Literally, I used to come home from work and we were supposed to, like, you would think when you're married or you come home, you know, you come home and you spend time with your loved one, but nope, we both be on the phone scrolling what's on social media. I tell him all the time, like, hold on, give me a second. I got to catch up on the Shade Room. I got to catch up on, and it's like, that's your downtime, but that's not peaceful.
And to be honest, that's only causing more ruckus. Because now, let's say you've been locked into work, right? And because we know you can spend hours and hours on your phone. We know that's the norm now.
I know that personally.
So you locked in on work. So you like, I can't get to my phone. Even though the job is getting probably hectic or stressful, you're off of that. So when you get home and get right on it, it's like, oh, welcome back to the BS, because now you know you're not finna see just the best of things, because you're gonna see, what can I say?
Go ahead.
You're gonna see things somebody got murdered, somebody got hurt, and
bad news.
Things
like, with bad energy.
That's why I really don't take to the news anymore. Ooh. But
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because, to be honest, those type things, it disturbs your peace. Like, real talk. So,
You know, not to interrupt you, but you know what like I said, I just now at 31 years old realized what real peace is. Do you know that a part of finding peace is realizing that we're, how do I say this, energy deficient? Like, we don't understand that with social media, with the news, with stuff like that, there's an energy that comes with it.
Right.
So if you follow me on Twitter, I'm usually pretty vocal about it. Like, if things happen, like some famous person dies, or example, Young Dolph died. I was having a good day, just on social media. I was on lunch and I was scrolling. When I tell you, I was literally on my lunch break watching the news develop, and like found out he got shot and whatever the case may be. When I tell you, I literally felt sick to my stomach and like hyperventilating and like, and some other stuff. I've always been sensitive. I guess I'm an extreme empath. So it's another reason I don't really be on social media. Try not to, but I realized that the energy is a thing on social media that affects your peace. And if you don't realize that there are certain energies that come with certain things that affect your health, sometimes it's not that you are sick or you got a headache. Sometimes it's the energy of what you're doing. So am I on social media all day? And if I am, what am I looking? What's on my news feed? I don't know, just a lot of different energies at once can be overwhelming to our nervous system. And I didn't realize that. I didn't know peace until I realized that, if that makes sense.
no, that makes all the sense. Because I've had, here lately, I've been in conversation. The big thing I'm pointing out or I'm getting to is about the whole energy thing. Mm-hmm. I've been in conversation with friends. Mm-hmm. And the things we watch, the things we consume, as stated before, does disturb the peace. Because you can't have a cohesive and be with yourself alone in your thoughts because you're clouded. You're thinking somebody's doing this, I should respond this way, or you're making this judgment or assumption based on the I guess the noise, if that makes sense. So here's an example. And I'm no therapist. I'm just stating the real, what I've seen. And you can say I don't mind you going on about men, but women, to my women out there, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're gorgeous. But when you watch things on television that goes against being beautiful, smart, and gorgeous, which you are, it hurts you. So all of this reality TV, you have to know that it's not really real. So I say that to say it's messing with your peace as a woman and knowing who you are. And it may be hindering some relationships and some growth. So you have to step back and you have to reassess the things you're watching, because you may be formulating some things that are making your household not peaceful. So you're thinking you're so-and-so off this show. Well, I know she dealt with this man this way, right? So now you're going home to your guy or girl and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to respond this way. When it's like, no, you need to step back and realize that that's not reality, though they call it reality TV. That's not reality. It's false reality, and it's hurting your peace and knowing who you are. You have to take that time to know who you are. Now, on the contrary, because I don't want to just stick on my women and like bash them. Brothers, guys, let's get honest here. Every guy you see with the nice chains, the nice whips, all that is not all that you look at and you want to get the same and you want to do the same and you will go broke or hurt somebody to get this. You're not knowing peace of knowing who you are, and you're not realizing that is not reality. The social media that you look at and the influence, that is not reality. Is it some? Maybe. Can't call it. But for the majority, you have to know, you have to get grounded. You have to get grounded. You have to cut some things off, and you have to get inside yourself to understand what true peace is. So, back to bringing it back full circle. I know I went on the rant. That energy thing is, you gotta protect it.
I actually want to piggyback off what you said, because long before this podcast even, or my book was even a thought, I used to be real heavy into reality TV, my Housewives of Atlanta, my Basketball Wives, and he used to say that to me all the time, like, excuse me, he would like make jokes like, you need to start watching reality TV because you getting snappy and you getting attitudinal. And I'm not, if you know me, I'm not an attitudinal person. I'm very much go with the flow, happy, bubbly. And so I would be like, boy, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, it would make me so mad and like, da-da-da, you don't know me, da-da-da. And so now that I've stopped watching, I think after COVID, I don't really know what happened, but I just stopped having an interest. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, sidebar, and then I'm going to bring it back. I have a family friend that is on, I won't say the show, that's on a show on Bravo. And so we ran into that family friend in Nashville at a restaurant, ironically recording that show. And so we caught up and everything. We sat next to them while they filmed, and they made us sign little, probably NDAs or something. Just to, and something to just, if we're on the show in the background, that, you know, consent to our identity or whatever, won't suit. And so as we were eating, we just saw how fake, like they would be talking, because the restaurant we were at was historical in Nashville. They were talking to the owners, real good conversation. Like, you know, we eavesdropping like, okay. It was like real family vibes. And I could tell they let them eat enough food to, you know, okay, cool. Once they got done, it was like, okay, let's talk about such and such and what she has going on. And I need you to do whatever. And so that's how they were literally feeding them, okay, this is the topic, talk about that. And it just looked so fake. I think in that moment, my little dreams was crushed, because I'm like, and I watched this show avidly at the time. And so I was like, bro, this is really staged. Like, this is how reality TV is. I
can say I watched that show too, and seeing that it did, it messed with you.
I was like, bro, like literally they was like, okay, now y'all did that. Let's redo this scene. So make sure to tack on this point about this person. And when they said this about that person, how did that make you feel? Da-da-da. They were literally like, and when I tell you, I was like, bro. And I think I watched that following season just to see if we were on there. We weren't. They didn't even use that scene. But my point is, once I stopped watching it and COVID happened and you start having time to yourself, I started realizing, like, it did play a part. I think that what we don't realize is that the things we see on a normal basis, it does program. That's why they say programming. Like, It does program our attitudes. How many times have we watched something that was happy and that made us laugh, and we left being happy and bubbly and like laughing and we're in a good mood? And how many times have we watched, like, I don't know, war movies or something angry, and now our mood is, or we're extra attitudinal or snappy. And then on your point for men, I think men and women, it's like we see so many things that we want. If our life is not that way, we feel like we're left behind or we're not included or whatever. And so now we're harder on ourselves. Now we add other stresses onto ourselves in other ways. And we, again, all of it comes back to, we just don't know true peace. Right. And so that's why, just to sum it up, I think that none of us, if we don't already know what peace is, and we're not actively trying to find out what peace is, most people don't know what peace is.
It's like you have to find things that puts you in a place of, I want to say, almost bliss. Like,
like, ooh, this feels good to my soul. Like,
you can't get addicted to it now. I mean, well, you can, but you don't want to sit in it and not. Like, so, like me, if I just sit and be like, oh, I can just watch these TV shows all day. It's so peaceful. But it's like, come on, man, you gotta still be productive.
You gotta do work. I can tell you one thing. Well, I'm probably jumping ahead.
Go ahead.
But I've started, might as well go ahead and get into ways. First off, okay, so peace, you have to figure that out for yourself. Like the definition said, there are ways of caring for and safeguarding your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self in ways that you determine for yourself. For me, I found that silence and really figuring out what I like, not what anybody else likes, not what anybody else wants to do, not decisions that anybody else makes. Like, what do I want? And that is peace to me. And one thing that's helped me find peace is meditation. I want to get into yoga, but I'm not there yet. But meditation and learning how to be quiet has helped me. I don't know. It might be on. We have a couples channel on YouTube. If you find it and you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But we went to Destin years ago, and we did this float spa thing. It's like a pod of water, salt water, and you float in it, and you're supposed to like meditate and quiet your mind. And if you watch that, you know that I could not shut my mind up. I was like, okay, don't talk. Okay, we're supposed to be quiet. Stop thinking. Why are you thinking? Like, quit thinking. Like I was really I did not know how to quiet my mind and how to find peace. And so now that I've actually had time to okay, why can't you stop talking? Like, I think we don't ask ourselves internal questions to get to the root of it. We keep filling ourselves with lies just to make ourselves comfortable, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So, I think, why am I so good at peace? I hold on to the fact that I was the only boy, right? Mm-hmm. Out of 4 kids, I was the only boy by moms. And you gotta carry yourself way different. You can't. So I felt somewhat alone sometimes. So in my aloneness, I learned that I'm good. But sometimes some people don't understand it. You good alone. Like, just think. So in that float spa, like, I got into it. I got into the pod, and I'm like, I'm floating. And of course, you feel the bubbles and stuff moving. It. I did for a second, like, oh, it's something crawling on me. But I'm like,
it did.
I started to think, like, man, what could be in the salt water like this? So I calmed down because I'm like, I'm cool. So now, when there was a time when we went and got massages. We went and got massages. I was kind of tense. I was tense in my mind, like, bro, somebody about to be touching me other than, you know what I'm saying, my wife's significant other or something, like, somebody touch me like that. So I had to quiet my mind. But like I say, it only came with I say probably after the first 5 minutes, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. She got me. And I'll never forget her whisper in my ear. I miss you, girl.
She did not whisper that to
But
you.
nah, she was like, Joshua. And her mouth was so wet.
Paul.
I ain't gonna even going into the story, but nah, it was just
That sounded crazy.
I'm happy I was able in that instance to calm my mind because boy, it was so many episodes in my head playing out like, what if I poop? Like, I'm sorry, I know this is but this
That's
is a real
life.
But it's like, man, what if I just what is it far right? Just a bit. What if I'm getting a massage and I go?
Your body get too relaxed and you just start letting them things loose.
Big
Bruh. But no, that's another reason I don't think we know peace, because I think we want to have all the answers. So we make things like, what if this happened? What if this? We gotta be on the defense, like, so this don't happen. It's like, no, just relax and enjoy life and what comes with it. So, but with that being said, what are ways to protect your peace? I will say my number one is logging.
Wait. Before we go into that, before we say to protect your peace, I have to ask a question.
Okay.
So when you went through the situation of mom transitioning and stuff like that afterwards, did you feel like it got hectic, or was you able to find peace? Were you able to find peace?
I felt, how do I say this? I felt at peace because she wasn't suffering. I feel like I wasn't at peace. I couldn't sleep when she was here going through it because I could feel it. And so when she passed, like, I felt peaceful, like, within myself, if that makes sense. But like everybody else, it's kind of like literally like I picked up where she left off. People still come to me, reach out to me. What you doing? Want to hang out? What you know? Just, and I was like, bro, I got to process. And I think that's why I isolated the way that I did. Cause it's like I love y'all, but I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing with nobody. I gotta figure things out. I gotta find peace for myself because I just went through a traumatic experience. And if you don't understand, you don't understand.
So in that instance, because I know a lot of times when people go through things, we say, "Hey, we right here for you," and sometimes you can overcrowd them. So are you saying, I guess for you, do you recommend, let's not even say for you, what do you recommend somebody do in that situation? Because me, as an outsider, a friend, I'm like, man, I'm just trying to be here for my friend. But what does being there for you in that instance look like?
I'm going to be honest, it's subjective and it's different for every person.
Understood.
I would say ask your friend to be honest. Because like me, it was overwhelming. Like, okay, so similar thing happened. My mom passed, and I think I lost my grandfather 5 or 6 months after. And I think certain family members wanted me to call and like check. Like I waited a little bit to reach out to certain family members about it because I remember when mom passed, I was like overwhelmed with the calls, and granted I answered the calls and texts, but it was overwhelming to me. It was just like, oh my god, like kind of anxiousness. So I waited in that situation, but like day before the funeral, a couple days before, a family member kind of like got on to me and was like, I was looking to hear from you, like, you know, but I had explained to her, like, I didn't mean no harm, I just know how I felt, and I knew they were going to get calls, and I didn't want to overcrowd. And they explained, well, it's different from you because you're the type of family member you are. So I say just assess.
Yeah. So I think the realest thing, I like what you said, say, hey, I know you gonna see that person who just lost somebody or going through it, and you tell them. That's the realest thing we can do is be like, hey, I know you going through it right now, but tell me, what do you want from me?
What do you need?
Like right now, like I'm going to check on you. If that's too much, just let me know. And to the people that's going through it or watching this that may go through it, you have to understand that sometimes people are not being a-holes. They're just trying to be there for you.
Yeah.
And to the ones that do not, like, I'm sorry to whoever the family member is, I don't care. Do not put nobody in a position to feel bad. Even worse, hey, you didn't tell me this about the situation. Bro, their minds are...
Sometimes you're processing.
Yeah, they're not even in this dimension right now. Like, they're somewhere else trying to figure out what is Q times Y multiplied by X and death. Like, what the... Don't be a butthole.
I think that people are just different. Like, another example is, like, I have another friend, of course I won't call her out, but she also lost her mother, lost a brother, and so I kind of every now and then reach out, or I reach out to my friends, because we're two different people. She's more like bubbly and funny, and I'm more, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but I'm more sensitive, I guess. I don't know, sensitive is probably not a good word, but we just handle things differently. Like, I couldn't see her being sad or emotional.
Gangster.
But I know she is, so I'll try to, like, reach out to my friends and, like, hey, how is she doing? Like, does she need anything? Like, should I call? Should I, like, fill it out? Because, I mean, literally everybody's different. Everybody doesn't want to bring up their family members passing, and though you may be checking out, it's like, okay, when we get together, it doesn't always have to be, oh, well, this person died, this is how I'm feeling, oh, sad. Like, sometimes we want to just hang out and have fun, like, you know what I'm saying? So I say just learn your person and ask them and be honest, like. So.
But I'm gonna take a restroom break.
Not a restroom break.
What's up, ILM? I lost my podcast listeners and viewers. I gotta take this moment just to tell you, we need your help. Support us, support the podcast, be a super listener, a super viewer. All you have to do is donate anything. Penny, dollar, nickel, it doesn't matter. We appreciate it all. And it's simple to do. All you have to do is go to PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo and type in I Lost My Podcast, all lowercase. That's right, I Lost My Podcast, all lowercase. It's simple. we're trying to grow this channel. And we want to grow with you. And you want to see us do better things, right? Come on, we need better equipment. But until then, we're going to let you get back to this podcast. I know it's interesting, right? Yeah, I know.
All right, so with that being said, we talked about peace, and I pray that you all find peace soon because this world is a hot mess. But what are ways to protect your peace? For me, I'll go first. I'll say the biggest one that comes to mind is log out of social media, all of them. Turn off the notifications, unplug from the world. Honestly, that's how this episode came to me. Because the Roe versus Wade thing had happened on social media. Again, I'm an empath, so too much of negative energy gets to me. And I remember just feeling away, and I literally tweeted, protect your peace at all costs, and I logged out of everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Spotify, Apple, like I signed out of everything. And I found, though, that week I took like a week and a half off of social media. No, the only notifications I have is a motivation app and a mantra app that sends me different motivations and mantras throughout the day. And when I tell you, though I was out of the loop on a few things, I was so happy. I didn't feel anxiety. It was a good time. And I was the most at peace when I did that. So I say protect your peace by signing out of everything. What's the way you would protect your peace?
A way that I will protect my peace. But I already told y'all, hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Practicing just self-care.
Self-care? Okay. Folks done learn what self-care is now. Okay. What's your favorite self-care? Is hiking?
My favorite self-care.
Why are you laughing, bro?
I'm sorry, y'all, man. I'm goofy. My favorite self-care.
You liked that massage, didn't you?
The massage was dope. I can't stunt. That was probably my favorite. After doing the spa, I get my feet done. So, out of things like the spa, is it pedicure?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pedicure.
Pedicure your feet.
What else? Because I think of self-care as something that kind of like pampering yourself with a woman to do more so because, I'm not used. I'm not. Besides like a pedicure, I wasn't used to it. The massage, pedicure. What else we do? Like
would you be down for goat yoga?
No.
That might be peaceful.
No, I'll do yoga. I won't do goat yoga.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit much.
Yeah, that's not my forte. I don't knock you for what you're doing. If you want to look, if I'm not paying for it, so if it's somebody watching this and say
they gotta
hey
crawl
guys,
on
we
you,
want you to come. All right, I'll try it, but I'm telling you, I'm not paying for it because they finna be doing what? Nah,
they be pooping on you and just
but I think I really did like it. I really did like the massage, and that was probably my most frightening one because I'm like, oh, somebody gotta be touching me. But
I'll say another way to protect your peace is saying no, and I've gotten better at it, but I still got a ways to go. Like I said, sometimes people, and I'm not saying for family members that watch this and think, oh, well, let's not ask her for nothing. I'm not saying all the time I don't want to do nothing, friends. Like, I'm not saying I don't want everyone to go out and not have fun, but there are some times when I'm going to have to say no because maybe we got to record the podcast. Maybe we got some other business ventures. Maybe I just need time to myself because I've been doing so much other things. I'm going to have to say no. Don't take it personal. I love y'all. It literally is nothing personal. But yeah, just learning to say no and boundaries. Yeah,
saying no is a beautiful thing. I'm leaning forward.
That's something I didn't know I could say until I got older, till I lost my mom, because it was just yes to everything. But she was always there for people. So even if it meant, Yeah,
like saying no is beautiful because you can't be there for somebody too much and you just pouring till you ain't got nothing left of yourself. And when it's time for you to need some giving back to you,
it ain't reciprocated the same way.
And that hurts. That hurts. Like, especially, let's say you're going through something, a very tough situation, and you just like, I just need a little love, and I ain't got it right now, bro. I can't help you right now, bro. It's like, dog.
I dropped everything for you.
I dropped
Like
everything for you.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you gotta watch that. Saying no is speaking up for yourself, and sometimes,
And you feel better. Because that's what you wanted to say and what you wanted to do.
Sometimes you just have to speak up for yourself in this world, because now you'll get stepped on, and that ain't peaceful.
Yeah.
And you getting stepped on, so.
Yeah. Can you think of another way to protect your peace?
I think we talked about media, stop cutting stuff off, but ignoring certain people. So if certain people don't serve you peace in your life,
they naturally interrupt your peace.
Yeah, they naturally. So if you got a friend, and your friend just always, hey Josh, hey, you know, let's go hit this ball. And you're like, nah, bro, I'm good. Let's go do this. Nah, I'm good. And they constantly coming with it like, no, bro, it's okay to distance yourself, because you don't want to go down that same road. I remember in life I had an instance. I was in college and loving to death, but I should have distanced more, because, bro, I wasn't saying no to a party that came my way. I wasn't saying no.
Turned to the max.
Let's say at the end of that semester, I got 3 Fs, not 1, 3 Fs on my report, and
been there. Ooh, Lord.
My mom, she let me have it, and I went and talked to like one of my older frat brothers, and he was like, man, look, this how you turn it around. And I took his advice, and following semesters, man, I had some folks like, hey, let's go. Nah, bro. Nah,
can't do it.
I had to distance myself. I had to. When you want to get locked, you got to lock in and focus on you. And that's the biggest thing. You need that peace. You need that time to focus on you and know who you are.
Yeah. And I would say, don't take anything personal. Yeah, don't take anything personal. And also, it's probably 2 in 1. Sorry. Don't take anything personal, and understanding that everybody's battle is not your battle. I think when I have not been at peace, it's tackling on other people's issues. Well, I'm trying to fix this person or this issue for this person, but does that person want the issue fixed? You know, that's something they have to live with, but you'll add stress and drama to your own life trying to fix that for that person. You cannot change a person, right? That's the honest to God creator truth. You can't change anyone. Now you can state your piece. Now I get what people means when they say state your piece. Yeah.
So you state what you'll take, you state your expectations, so it's like, in the instance, I love you, I always love you, but I'm not going to deal with this.
Yeah.
And once you're done, you walk away, and you know that, hey, I've stated my piece, and, you know, worst come to worst. I mean, I left it all out there. So if you choose to do whatever, that's on you.
And last thing, sorry, y'all. Last thing I'm going to say, dang, did it just leave? It just left. We're protecting our peace. I just had a 30-year-old moment. Or maybe it didn't have to be said. Basically, that's what I was going to say. Basically, the cheat code to peace is attaching from everything, any and everybody, detaching. Yes, I said it right the first time. Detaching from any and everything at a certain point in your life, and being present with yourself. The more you detach from social media, from family, sometimes hanging out, and I'm not saying don't hang out, don't have fun, but sometimes you gotta detach from that scene and really sit with yourself. Like, we don't know peace because we don't know how to sit in silence with ourselves and what we have going on. We don't know what's going on with us because we don't sit with ourselves and ask ourselves the important questions. Sometimes you just need silence, and that's it. because we have the radio playing. We have kids outside, upstairs neighbors being loud. We have somebody got to call you about some drama that happened. Sometimes your folks need something. Sometimes, when do we stop and be quiet and be like, okay, what do I want to do? What am I thinking? What am I feeling?
I'm going to tell you straight up. I did not know what meditation was until I graduated. I was graduating from college. Because you bought me a book by
and I bought him the book, but I didn't even know myself. I just was like, oh, it's a good book.
Bought me a book by
was it Russell Simmons?
Yeah, Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
And he talked in his book about meditating and yoga, and he was like, use rum. So I was like, let me just try it, right? And I was still finishing up classes, so I'm like, I can get my grades right. Like, let me just try it. So I'm in my room. I'm making sure my boy Tay and Evan, they weren't at home at this point. I'm like, I'm finna try it. Excuse me. And afterwards, like, I felt amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel, man, you just feel relaxed. So that was my first try at like meditation. Mm-hmm. But over this last year or so, before I started work, started a project. I literally go into the second room of the house, and I just be like, okay, let me just cut on like meditating music, and let me just breathe. Breathe. Like, to start your day, that is amazing. To start your day with like that type of
breathing is a big one too, and I had to do that with him today when he got a little flustered at work. I went to like a sister circle, and because I'm not used to being around large crowds of people, I was kind of panicking, but they were doing like breath work and like, stillness. And one of the things they did is like you charge up, energy like this so that your hands, you feel that warmth. You put it over your heart or your stomach or wherever your core, and you just simply breathe in quietly, breathe out quietly. And I did that with him today to calm down. When I tell you, when I get stressed, when I get anxious, when I get just sitting silent and like just breathing and like breathe all with everything in you and breathe out with everything in you, slow and steady. That's why we start the podcast the way that we do. Sometimes you need to reset yourself for whatever stresses you have going on or whatever. So
because if I would have kept the same energy from getting off work and coming to do this podcast, it would have been a whole other can of beans. But
so
I remember this lady actually came into my job one time and was like, if y'all ever need to decompress, take a drop of lavender, put it in your hand.
Oils, essential oils. That's another conversation for another time, but yes.
Yeah. She was like rubbing together real hard and breathe in. So she gave us a drop and we relaxed.
I forgot about that.
Might have just been lightheaded from about
it. You breathe too much in.
We might have been lightheaded from all that, But another thing about protecting your peace, I don't want to leave without saying this, like, protect your peace on a level of understanding who you are without influence of like drugs and alcohol. I'm not gonna lie. Because
yes, that's big. Say that again, please.
Yeah, okay.
Emphasis.
Try to learn who you are, protect your peace without drugs and alcohol. Because you want to know who you are to the core. And I know people think, well, this makes me feel. No, it makes you not feel. Let's be honest, guys. It makes you not feel. It's just masking it. And you want to put that mask on over and over. You wear it out. So you going buy more expensive mask or going to even more expensive. Hey. So try to do it without that, like, real deal. I know we sometimes, growing up where I'm from or growing up in our community, you tell somebody about meditation or yoga or massages, man, you finna get talked to like, bro, what?
As a man, because we do that as women.
No, it's a lot of
meditation and stuff they don't. We know self-care, maybe massages, but yeah, they don't know nothing. Our community doesn't know anything about meditation and quietness.
We know how to stunt. We know
designer keeping up with the latest.
Look fly. We know how to.
That's what we do.
Start a trend, you know what I'm saying?
All the time.
We still that.
Innovators.
We still that, but
But we don't know how to tend to ourselves where it counts, knowing who we truly are.
Go to the lake, you know what I'm saying?
Sit there. Just don't do nothing. Don't record. Don't even record it. Leave your phone in the car.
Hey,
take it in.
the feeling that you have to record everything, that also disturbs your peace. Take it all in. Take it all in.
That's two things, habits I broke. Now when I go out with friends, first off, I try to be present with my friends, so I try not to even look at my phone, whether I'm out with family or friends. If phone is on silent, it's face down, unless everybody's checking, and I'm like, okay, well, ain't nobody talking, let me check. But and even drinking, now I used to be like, oh, I'm stressed at work. Oh, I need a drink. And
that right there. I need a drink versus I want a drink.
I need it. I had a rough day.
I don't need a drink. If I want a drink, I want a drink. I don't need a drink.
Yeah.
And if you have a rough day, don't drink. Just sit and think.
That's what I do now. Now I don't crave a drink. I'll come home and talk to you about, like, why do we feel this way? Or job situations, and like that ignites, like, bro, we don't need these jobs. We gonna do the X, Y, and Z. And like, but like sometimes we need to work through things instead of masking things. But that's what we're used to because that's how we grew up. That's what we saw. So basically, the premise of this podcast is just to challenge you to see what peace is for you, not for nobody else, not for your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your best friend, your uncle, auntie, your dog, nobody but you, and to act on that peace continuously and to protect it. Whatever peace is for you, protect it.
Now,
at all costs.
I must say, I always keep this in mind. And like I said earlier, I heard this guy say you have to know how to operate in chaos. And I was like, dang. If you do know how to operate in chaos, you're a bad something.
Because I shut down.
I always remember, heaven is a mindset. I go there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, peace is a mindset, so you got to go there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember being in situations where, like, physically, you just like, man, look. You got to go to that place. Like, I'm not even here. I'm not even here. I'm somewhere on the beach right now. This ain't even hurting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find peace in yourself, though.
And that's another topic for another time, but your subconscious mind, your mind as a whole, but your subconscious mind is so powerful. Literally what you tell yourself, it will happen to you. We create our realities, our peace, by what we think and what we consume and what we revolve around ourselves. And some listening may be like, yeah, I hear it. But no, it is true. When I stopped and assessed my life and what I was listening to, what I'm not listening to, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, literally think about your situation and your living situation. If you're stressed out, what are you putting up with? What person are you putting up with that you don't have to? What situation are you taking on that you don't have to? What are you saying yes to that you could be saying no to? Like, find peace for you.
So,
long story short,
here's another question. I can go on and on about
peace. It's a topic.
Here's another question. Who's the most peaceful person or influence that you've ever, like, encountered? Like, who's the most peaceful?
My grandmother, Mama Nisi. I'm gonna forever shout out my grandmama, Mama Nisi. Shout out to my Mama Nisi. She is love embodied. She is peace embodied. I've never seen her lose her temper. I mean, I'm sure she's like my mom. She'll get on to you in her own little sweet way. But she's just so peaceful. Like, sometimes I'll be talking to her and we'll just fall asleep, and just cause it's that peaceful. So yeah, that's my example. Who is yours?
For me, the most peaceful person.
And was mom, but she passed, so.
I would have to say my Uncle Charles. I got an Uncle Charles, and like, every time I see dude, he just like walking and smiling. What's up, Joshua? And he just so cool and chill. Like, but I know he's been in certain situations and things. I know he's been in like war and stuff like that, but he's like always been like so peaceful. Like, I've never heard this man raise his voice. Dude, I would have said my Uncle Daryl, but I didn't see Uncle Daryl get a love. But he's my great Uncle Charles. Like, like, I was like, I've always. He'll before we can ask him for money, he'll say, "Give me a quarter or something." He's like, bro,
like, we supposed to ask you for some money.
Yeah, we supposed, but he be like so chill. Like, he'll come through, say what's up, and give us a couple dollars and dip, and That's Uncle Charles, but he was like so peaceful. Or is so peaceful because he's still here with us.
What made you ask that question?
Because it's like, I don't know too folks are like, it ain't Mother Teresa, but people like Gandhi. Gandhi is like if you talk about peace, Gandhi just knew what peace was. And I haven't read too much or know too much about Gandhi or, you know what I'm saying, all these different people like that. But so I'm just trying to see like
in our community,
who's a beacon of peace that you just seen them and you just never seen them flustered, never seen them.
I'm not gonna lie, at first I had to think about it. Of course, I'm close to my grandma, so it came natural to think about her. But I'm trying to think of who else embodies peace, and that's not our community. But also we have a habit prior to this new age of social media to just surround ourselves with the news and social media. So none of us know peace. Goes back to the original thing. But when I look at my grandmother, she may watch the news or read the newspaper, but she really takes in the moment. Who comes to visit her? She's being present with them. She's tending to grandchildren. She's taking care of things in real life and not what's going on. She knows peace, and she comes from old school. Back in the day, when all you had was family, and they didn't have too much TV, and so same with mom too, but
So,
to an extent.
Do you think, here's a hypothetical.
Dang, who our age knows peace?
Let's say we got, let's say we done that. All right, come on. Let's say we got 2 kids, right?
Uh-huh.
And one child, you only show them programming from PBS Kids. Mm-hmm. And the other child, you show them programming from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and all that. Who do you think will be more peaceful?
PBS Kids. Wait, say that again. Say that one more time.
Who do you think, which child is going to be? Is it the child that watches PBS Kids or the child with cable? Who's more peaceful?
Probably the child with PBS Kids that didn't have cable.
That's me compared to us.
Well, we didn't have cable at a certain time. We had more cable than y'all did. Because at a certain age, we didn't get cable till maybe I was 9, 10.
We had people climbing on poles to hook up our cable. It was off the chain. We had a box. Man.
But I get your point because I had more cable, so longer than y'all, so I took in more.
Yeah, I didn't do good with music. I didn't know all.
Look, I was on everything.
That's another thing with peace. Protect your peace with the music you listen to.
All the music. Yeah, that is.
You have to because I can't listen to rap how I used to.
Me neither. I hate it, but love it.
I gotta listen to some jazz, some blues, or something. But. But
these gnats is off the chain, man. But anyway. Yeah. That is true. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end out this segment just by saying protect your peace. You at this point at least should know what peace is for yourself. You know how important it is. Protect it. Let's go ahead and move to our second segment. Let's get some fresh air. Let's go ahead and head to Poetry in the Park because I wrote my second. Is this my second? This is my second poem I wrote. And if I may say so, I think my bars, my words are getting better. So let's check that out.
So nevertheless, this is Michi G with Poetry in the Park. Take 2 for her. Check her out.
This is Michi G, and this is Poetry in the Park. Take 2. This poem is entitled Peace. Peace. It's priceless yet pricey. It can cost you. Folks search high and low for peace in its purest form, not knowing it's already inside of you. What even is peace? Would you know it if it slapped you? I can tell you one thing. At 31 years old, I'm just getting acquainted with peace. Having to isolate and unlearn myself. Now I done woke up a beast, but with peace. You see, some will never know peace because you won't let that phone go. Yeah, that's me. Won't let go of drama, negative vibes, keep your world spinning, and that's what has control. Some won't know peace because you're too friendly with the demons that you fight to put them in check. And as a result, you continuously feel like life has you by the neck. Peace is also freedom, but some won't know that either. So willing to be a slave to the trends and the fake news and the designer. Why can't peace just find me? Now I'm on the defense. Some won't find peace because your focus doesn't understand stillness, let alone happiness. So what is peace to me? It's rainy sounds hitting a rainy ground on a quiet night as I pray. Living in gratitude and thankfulness for this day. Peace can also be the foods that you eat, escaping emotions through treats, meats, and sweets. Try consuming foods like beets and wheats and maybe even an apple or two and watch what your life will do. Peace to me is not having to pay bills. Oh my gosh. Woo! Because that issue's whack. Financial freedom is peace. Now that's where it's at. Not having to answer to someone. You can do as you please, but with intention. You can focus on the things that really matter. Yourself, for example, give you that extra attention. But all in all, my universal prayer is that you find peace and what that means for self. This world is crazy enough, y'all. It don't need no help. In terms of chaos, y'all, go get y'all some peace today. Thank you. All right, y'all.
That was amazing poem. That was amazing.
I hope y'all liked it and resonated with it. If y'all resonated and you felt that poem, comment below. Like, start interacting with us, y'all. Are we on the right track? Are y'all feeling us? Yeah, let me know what you thought about my poem. So, and I think usually we explain the poems, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We talked about the poem this whole episode, so hopefully y'all liked it. So we're not gonna keep y'all that much longer. We know you got stuff to do, child. We do too. It's raining. We finna go to sleep. It's been a long day. Thank you for watching I Lost My Podcast. Don't forget to share physically on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Tell your friends about it. We healing over here. We not perfect, but we growing and we growing with you. Yeah. So thank you. We are blessed.
I may have lost my podcast, but I protected my peace today by podcasting with you. Also, you can catch your boy at open mics, man. I'm about to start going
what you
crazy.
say? Stand up.
Yeah,
stand up poetry.
Catch me at some stand-up poetry events, man. If y'all need anybody to host the event, holler at your boy, man. And Husky Hefe, the Fat Fitness Model.
I'm finna start jumping out there with poetry, y'all. I'm scared, but pray for your girl. We finna take over poetry.
Hey, man. Like I said, I may have lost my podcast, but I protected my peace by podcasting with you. We love y'all. Peace, love, and soul.